So we moved there on 3rd of September. On 11th of September, this friend stole all my money, moved to another city just to spend them in 2 days. And I came to my boss, sorry, but I need to find another job because here, I will earn 1/5 part of my rent. If you check my CV, you will see that I've already changed 8 industries probably, or 7, 8 industries different. My first job in IT happens because I come to fight face to face with the CEO of that company because he started making a very bad word to me. And I remember we were a client and it was like, what's wrong with you, bro? And then after 2 days, he called me do you want to become a sales manager? I do what? I don't feel comfortable in comfort zone because I'm in business. If you're not feeling stress, if you're not feeling that something changes, if you're in this zone, for me, it's the most dangerous part of your life. Because after 20 years past, you will understand that you didn't develop yourself. You don't know anything new, and you just lost your 20 years.
Welcome to the iGaming Leader podcast, where we uncover the human side of some of the most inspirational leaders in our industry. I'm your host, Leo Judkins, and as an ex-iGaming director turned performance coach, I've worked with over 200 leaders from companies like Entain, 365, Flutter, and many more to help them build the habits to achieve sustainable high performance. In these episodes, we share exactly what it takes for you to achieve the same. So with that being said, let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to the iGaming Leader podcast. Today's guest is somebody whose name comes up very often, not just as a sharp investor and former exec, but really somebody shows up for loads of people around him. Vladimir Malakchi, welcome to the show. Great to have you here, man.
Thank you a lot, Leo. It's so honor for me to participate and to speak with you. Not about all of this marketing, as we discussed. It's more about some interesting stuff. I'm always excited when the interviewer is awesome guy who we can discuss anything in this world. Thank you for inviting.
Really cool to have you here. Where I'd love to start, Vladimir, is I was asking in my mastermind group, who are some of the people that have inspired you most, or that you've either worked with or you've spoken to? And yours was one of the very first names that actually came up. I don't even know if you know, but yours was one of the very first names that came up. And the reason for that was because I said, okay, so why Vladimir? Well, it's because you're always super helpful to people, and you're always somebody that's helping people push people forward and be there for others. And that's really where I'd love to start, if that's okay for you. So, you're quite known for inspiring and helping others. Is that something that has always been the case for you, or is that something that's grown over your career? How did that all start?
First of all, now probably it's because I'm big fan of receiving such feedbacks, because this is the biggest one I can receive when somebody is telling that I'm inspiring, and when somebody is writing to me that, oh, super, can you mentor me, and that's helped to run the business or some network. It's cool. That's where you're feeling that you are doing it the right way. It's not about how much money you're on or something like this. Of course, it's resources needed. Everybody's looking for this. But when a lot of different people whom you're really seen 2 or 3 times in the whole life, telling you that you're inspiring them, it's awesome. And how did it come? I was lucky enough, most part of my ex-bosses, ex-chiefs, they were always about supporting from the beginning. One story, which was probably one of the first, most rememberable in my life. I moved to another city, big city, very hard city, very hard movement. I was 19 years old, nothing in the head, honestly, trying to do something. And I came to the first job, and it was a government job. And working the government job in Ukraine, you can't jump to the higher position, especially if you're 19 years old. You need to grow. And the salaries are very low. So we moved there on 3rd of September. On 11th of September, this friend stole all my money, moved to another city just to spend them in 2 days. This money was for half a year, so for your understanding. And I came to my boss. I remind you, I working for 8 days. He knows me before because we have some friends together, but he never worked with me. So he just seen what I'm doing in some things, had some characteristics about me from my ex bosses, but nothing more. So I came to him and told bro, sorry, but I need to find another job because here, I will earn, which will be 1/5 part of my rent. So it won't be enough for me. So we need to find something to work. And this was the crucial moment of my life when the person who you don't know at all, you meet him like five times in your life with some majors. And he told me, okay, like what happened? I told him what happened. He helped me to find this guy. He helped me to bring him back. He helped me to go to put him in the jail. He also asked me how much money I need for my living. And for half a year until I grow with a normal salary, he gave me this money in an envelope just from him, not from the salary. I was very grateful. You can't imagine, it's already like 14 years past. I'm still very grateful to this person, and whatever he asks, I will help him and always support him. This was the first case, and like during all my life, I was really lucky to work with people. Somebody teaching, somebody mentoring, somebody supporting. Most part of them, after my 19, I had the whole my career, I had only really good people, even if they were a little rough, because we had some conflicts and so on. But it was a job conflict, when you shout in one at each other, then just because of job question, then you're drinking whiskey because like it's okay, job question solved. Now we can be friends. So yeah, this is the example I've received. This is what I want people to think about me because anyway, like you will stop working together. It's normal. Somebody will continue working with somebody will change their career. Somebody, like, it's okay. It's life. But the things they remember about you, for me, the most important, and I want them to give maximum as I can. I want them to see growth because I'm seeing some people from around me whom I worked with before and how they're growing. They're becoming public people and becoming very, very, very expensive top managers with a lot of responsibilities, with doing a lot of things, with reaching new heights. And it's cool. Probably it's ego, I don't know, but it's feeling very cool because I learned it.
Yeah, I love that, man. What a story. And what I love most about that is that real conflict, right? You've got somebody that you've really trusted. You've got half a year of money together to move you forward. Somebody that, you've been friends with for a very long time betrays you. And then somebody that you don't really know, that you've known for, what did you say, 8 days, actually does the opposite, right? And is somebody that you can really lean on. And my belief is that all of our biggest growth always happens in our biggest challenges. It's always our biggest challenges that create are also the biggest opportunities. You just don't see it when you're right in the middle of it, when it just happens, right? Because you feel awful. So tell me a little bit more about that, Vladimir. Like in that moment when that guy ran off with your cash and before you actually had the chat with your boss, what were some of the things that were going through your mind? Were you more of the mindset of, I'm going to give up, I need to go back, or were you, I'm going to fix this? Like, what was your mindset back then? Do you remember?
I remember very well. I think I remember each day of that month because I hadn't idea to return back because when I leave some business behind because I had a proposition from my ex-job to have some part of the equity of the business because I grow something and so on, and I declined it. I don't know, like it was good decision or bad decision for now. Like every bad decision for now is recognized as a good because it gives you the way where you now. But I've changed the business. I fell in some kind of romantic love, and I've moved to another city not because of like some business growth or something like this. I moved there because there is my lovely lady, so I will live with her. Like I'm 19 years old. Don't trust me. The issue that when I moved out, my mom, she told me like, you're doing mistake. You have everything. You received a good business opportunity. You've made the good things. You have an equity. Like you're 19 years old, so everything awesome. Let's do it. I don't know. You don't understand. I will exit it because for that business I need to be in another place, and I will exit everything because I'm sure that it's a good decision. So it's very modern to tell like, oh, of course, like it's your decision, it's your space, blah blah blah, do whatever you want. That time now, what the fuck are you doing? I told you, like, do like this and so on. So, like, imagine 2 weeks, like even not 2 weeks, even 1 week, 1 week and several days. What if I return back? What my mom will do? It will destroy me. She will remember me each day about what's going on. I've told you, you lose the business, blah 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 blah. I wasn't ready for this. It was for me also better to live somewhere in, I don't know. I will find someone who will live. Like that time, the variant to return back and to see mom's eyes and to see that she's disappointed because she told you and so on. That was something I won't be, it will destroy me. So no, there was no choice. I was thinking about finding a daily job with a daily payment. I was thinking about like canceling the contract, trying to receive the deposit back. I had some options to communicate, so I had this right in my head to find some very, very cheap place, not the flat, but some room and so on. So it was about like circumstances you need to adapt. And this is what really any founder should do. Like you need always to adapt because some kind of bad things, they will happen all the time. It's nobody secured. Even if you have some insurance, in any way, it won't help you. In any way, it will kick you out from your normal way of thinking. And if you are not adapted, you'll die. So you need, this is probably the best skill the founders had. You need to be adapted very fast because market is growing, especially nowadays. Everything is changing each day. No new trends, new things. There is TikTok trend, there is AI trend, there is Instagram, there is books, there is business. What's going on? And you need to understand everything because everything in chain, everything depends on each element. If the world is like driving so fast, you must adapt your business. And I think this is a very cool skill. So yeah, this was the case, but I was lucky.
Man, I disagree with you. It's not about luck, right? I kind of hate the expression you make your own luck, but a lot of that is in mindset, right? Is in actually the steps that you take and the shame that you feel for having to go back as a failure and then that creating the fuel for you to take the steps that you need to, and that's defined your career, the rest of your career, I'm sure, right? Like that has shaped who you are as a person today.
I think one time I will write a little book about like changing the careers from step to step. Because if you check my CV, you will see that usually I've already changed like 8 industries probably, or 7, 8 industries different. And all the jumps from industry to industry, it wasn't like, okay, you're sitting, thinking, it some cases happens. Like my first job in IT happens because I come to fight face to face with the CEO of that company because he was our contractor and we didn't pay in time, which was not our fault because we're a government and government always makes some problems with the timings. And he was, how he called in that time, we're too alpha because they hired only alpha people. No, never this kind of beta delta or something. Only like alpha because, like, trust me, that sales school, it's nothing that you read in the books. When I read a lot of books in the sales, I read a lot of books about speaking, discussions, all the like psychological stuff, but I never read that school of sales. That school of sales telling you like when the client is coming to you speaking like, how much money you've told you have from the beginning before selling anything. They're like, okay, I have 5,000. You tell them, now 5,000 is like, you can see there is some very bad company. I want to tell the real word, but there is a very bad company in the corner behind. Go there, they will make you for 1,000 from your 5, save 4. Make this 1,000, put 3 in your market, and then you understand that you already screwed up. And then you will come and put 8 for us for the beginning. That's what the sales, right? And this was, I like, what? Because before I was learning, like, normal, like when you're very polite and so on, no aggression, nothing. And then like a new school. And yeah, because I came to fight with this guy because he started making the very bad words to me. And I remember we were a client and it was like, what's wrong with you, bro? And I came to him like, and to explain, it's not the case to speak with me like this. And also, first of all, I'm fighter myself for the whole life. And the second, where I work in government structure, which has a lot of influence, I told them like, you're really in a bad position to argue because you will lose it from both sides. Like we discussed, we solved it by the words. We have explained him situation, he explained me. And then after 2 days, he called me like, do you want to become a sales manager? I do what? And I don't nothing. I don't know anything about like IT product and so on. He told like, it doesn't matter. We will learn you. And in 2 months, I exited the job because there were some changes was in the government. So 2 months I called him and told like, your proposition is still on the table. So of course, come. You know why? Because he didn't give a salary, just commission. Nice start of career. Yeah, so yeah, there are a lot of such things and stories. But in some cases, it's not even the luck. What I'm putting in the terms of luck, there are always some options and possibilities around you. Always. Doesn't matter what happened in this world. There are always the solution. Like how respected or like a very popular phrase. Yeah, when somebody standing with a gun in your head, it's not about like give you money or just die. There are around 148 other solutions. You just need to see them. And this is the same. You just need to look. You just need to think what do you prefer? What are you looking exactly for? Because when you start thinking about what you're looking for, what do you need? You will start finding it because you will start remembering contacts, people, books, information. Doesn't matter. You will start remembering because you will start focusing on what you need, what are you looking for, not on the problem, how you on the solution that you like. For example, I don't know. If the business is crashing, you don't need about like thinking about, oh, okay, it's crashing. You need to think about, okay, I want to close it and open a new one. Okay, it's one decision. Or I want to renew this. Or I need to solve the problem why it's crashing because of, I don't know, some market changes. And I need to change market. It doesn't matter, but you need to focus on the solution. And I'm sure you will find a lot of, universe, what is more than to tell. Yeah, universe will give you everything you need. And you just need to take it and see it.
Yeah, I love it, Vladimir. I think one of the big things is also about increasing your surface area, if that makes sense. I think it's just, you want to be a great person to work with. You're a person that works really hard, that is adaptive, that always is proactive. It increases your surface area for luck, right? And then opportunities happen, but because you've got a big surface area, those opportunities will find you. That's how I see it. I don't know if you feel the same, but I think a lot of it is really in your own control. It's just about like making sure that you spread that as much as possible.
I think I was speaking about those people who are reading a lot of books about SMART system, or they were like looking for a secret film, and then they're like, okay, I'm just start thinking about this.
I'll speak it into the universe. Yes.
Yeah, guys, forget about this. This is important to think what you want because you need to focus your mind on this. But never. I've read a lot of all these books and see all these films. It's not giving you an advice to sit on your sofa and waiting when somebody has happened. If you're just staying on the place and you don't do anything, you're just thinking, the only thing you will receive is kind of ideas. Of course, you need to learn. You need to start moving always, moving with life.
Yeah, I love that. I had a podcast interview with Sasha, who is the Chief Commercial Officer at Playtech Live last week. And she was talking about how she actually got to that position. And she said, for me, it was just knocking on doors of the C-levels. It was actually showing that, because they don't know, like you were saying, right? If you're going to sit around and wait, they don't know that the things that you know about yourself and the opportunities that you can bring to the business and your skills. So it's about putting yourself out there. But that's obviously for a lot of people, that's sometimes uncomfortable because it's not comfortable. But growth doesn't happen inside of your comfort zone, right? You've got to get out there.
Growth is not comfortable at all. I'm hiring now a person, and I didn't even give her a test task or something like this, because after she told me like how she started iGaming in Korea, she had a dream to start working with iGaming because she never did it before. Because she has a lot of network around speaking and so on. And so like I was interested what the industry is and told her, okay, what did you do? So, okay, I asked about some conferences. It was ICE because she lived in Barcelona. So like, okay, I meant to find the tickets to ICE from my friends. And so like I start speaking with people and telling like, see, this is my CV. This is what I can. If you have a job for me, just tell me. Like I'm ready to interview anytime. It's not like I just speak with all the companies that I'm looking, what I'm strong in the file, kind of like 3-4 minutes of speaking. And that's all. So like I got just not to what 7 or 8 interviews, just from going around. The person who has no experience in iGaming, just a cool lady with some really very awesome business skills, but no experience, no network, nothing. But like this kind of confident that she will find something. Like 7 or 8 interviews, guys. Just one day, easy.
That's exactly what I meant, right? That's increasing your surface area for luck, and then opportunities when they appear, they will touch your surface area. So I love that. It's a great example. I wanted to touch a little bit on kind of what you were saying about founders there, Vladimir, because one of the big things I suppose that people don't realize when they start a business, especially when they've been in employment, is that actually you need to do everything. We were talking about it before as well. The light breaks and you got to fix the light. It's not just about sales or about business development or about marketing. It's about all of it. But the thing I wanted to ask you is about what you were saying earlier. One of the most important skills is that you've got to be able to adapt, right? Search, for example, is changing. People are no longer Googling as much. Everything is in AI, like that massively impacts your business. So how do you balance your mind kind of always wanting to change things and seeking new opportunities with also, as a founder, staying the course and being known for your product or your service and doing that for long enough to understand whether or not that is going to be a hit in the market?
Very nice question. I never think about it. How I'm managing such things. First of all, I think the second very important characteristic, it doesn't matter you're founder or not, but it's just important for a human being. You need to have some kind of self-analysis. If you can't self-analyze yourself, find somebody who will help you to understand who you are. And you need to understand that you are not a universal person. You have a lot of pluses, constant pros and cons. And you need to understand what is your pros and cons. And there are two ways. Otherwise, you need to make stronger your minuses, just work on them. In some cases, it doesn't work. In some cases, it's better to cover it another way and focus on your strong side. It depends. In my case, I'm a chaotic person. Honest, I'm feeling very comfortable in chaos. Whatever it's happened in the world, I'm feeling comfortable in stress. As more stress in my job, as more stress in my life, I'm more focused, more oriented, and more productive. But it's my life. It's not. It can't be showing to the people. It can't working with the people because I understand that people need system. They need to understand tasks. They need to have deadlines. Blah 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 blah. Different people. So I know it's my minus. So what I'm doing, I can rather start fixing it, which is impossible for me. Or I can just find the person who will help me with this. This is why I always have my assistant. So I'm always trying to find an assistant who is very systemized, very structured, who is in control of everything. And this is my fixing of my mind. So every idea I have in my mind, I'm sending to assistant because she knows that, I can go somewhere and just on my XC photo, having a brilliant idea which the whole team should start working on. So I had anything, I put it to my assistant, then she's structuring it due to priorities, due to some stuff for the metrics more important, what blah, 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 all this stuff. So whatever I have some idea, what should I do? I'm writing what next, what I forgot. Or she's remind me, okay, you forgot this. Okay, this project is should doing this. This is KPI for this project, blah, 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 and so on. So this is the case. You always have solution to find. But to find the solution, you need to understand the problem.
Yeah, I love that. You've got to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. And very often, I think people, like you said, people make the mistake of wanting to fix all of their weaknesses, whereas actually you can fix them by getting support in that area. And when you focus on your strengths instead, they become your super talents, And I think that's such a great answer. Hey, if you're a VP, a director, founder, or executive in iGaming, and you want to achieve sustainable high performance without sacrificing your personal life or your well-being, then the iGaming Leader Mastermind might be your kind of thing. It is a highly vetted community in which we work together with other iGaming leaders in the industry to achieve that sustainable high performance. Because leadership in iGaming can be really lonely and isolating. But when you've got the right people around you, it can make such a difference to your performance, your productivity, and your personal life. So if that's something you want to know a little bit more about, head over to igamingleader.com and apply to join. But as we were talking about your example of, losing that half a year of money that you had saved from a friend and then having somebody to support you, that adaptability is really important. But one of the things that I sometimes see with founders is difference between founded businesses or funded businesses versus bootstraps, is that there's also a different level of fear, I suppose, that's driving them, right? If that makes sense. So very often when you see bootstrap businesses, not a lot of money in that business, you see this fear of having to go back to employment or something, and that drives some insane performance because there's no safety net. And sometimes we feel that we need a safety net for us to be able to make the decisions that we want. Whereas actually, very often, the lack of a safety net is the best fuel you can have to drive your performance. I don't know if that makes sense, but I wanted to ask you what you think about that.
I think in some ways you're fearing of both variants. You fear of what's going on in future because you have always this, am I doing right? You know, when I exit Evoplay, I was probably thinking for about like 3 or even more months about what did you done? You work in a huge company, you build this company, everything good. You have an amazing business partner because this one really like a dream partnership. I'm very grateful to Ivan about everything he have done. It relates was what I'm dreaming for years. And right now, where are you going? What's going on? What to do next? But it's always about the fear from both sides, and you are comparing. Well, like when you invest in, there is a risk analysis. You need to find how to cover this risk, and you're looking for reward, and you're comparing risk to reward. If the risk is high, reward is high as well. If the risk is low, they can't be high reward. I don't trust inside traps anymore. Probably like 10 years ago, I've trusted. Now I don't. I think it's about comparison. Okay, risk is here, reward is here. What I'm feeling was moving here, or there is returning back, but the fear is 1, 2, 3, and the reward will be probably it will be stability. You will feel comfortable. You will have non-stress and so on because everything is understandable. But the fear is to be in this comfort zone, for example. For me, it's a huge fear. In counter, there is a risk of won't succeed. You will lose everything. But if you won't lose everything, the reward is high. And you also earn the feeling that you've done it well. You win it. This is very important feeling.
You were talking about Evoplay, right? You've 25x revenue there. You know, that's what the revenue growth was there. You were in 9 markets, oversaw 7 departments. So tell me a little bit more about that fear of staying in your comfort zone. Where has that come from? Why are you so fearful of that? And what does that look like for you on a day-to-day basis, going outside of your comfort zone? What are some of the things that you do to make sure that that doesn't happen to you?
What is comfort zone for you? What do you feel when you think about comfort zone? What are the first words that's coming in mind when you're thinking about comfort zone?
Yeah, comfort zone for me, first word that comes to mind is laziness, just standing still. And for me, standing still where the rest of the world is going forward means going backwards. I don't like thinking about the current situation. I like thinking about the trajectory that we're on. So I like to think forward and kind of almost draw a line and go, okay, if this is where I am today, and these are the things that have been happening, if I then kind of fast forward 2 or 3 years, this is where that's going to end up. And that's where I know, usually when I'm in comfort zone, if I fast forward 2 or 3 years, it's not a great place.
Yep. So remember this, when you're the smartest guy in the room, you probably need to change the room. And this is the same. I don't feel comfortable in comfort zone because I'm understanding, and probably because I'm working on self-analysis even more than I should, but I'm thinking a lot about like what's going on, what you reach, what you've done, blah, blah, blah. And when you're feeling in that, okay, you're in comfort zone, everything good, everything moves forward, you don't develop. There is no self-development. When you're in sport, like my trainer told from my 14s, if you are not fully sweet after the training was bad. Go for 1 hour, for 1 additional hour, because it meant that you are not training on the level you are evolving. You're training on the level you are normal, and they're not giving you results. And the same in business. If you're not feeling stress, well, possibly in some ways in life as well. If you're not feeling that something changes, if you're always, okay, it's comfort, everything good, okay, I have some normal salary, well, everything good. If you're on this zone, for me, it's the most dangerous part of your life. Because after 15 years old, 20 years past, you will understand that you didn't develop yourself. You don't know anything new, and you just lost your 20 years. It's for me, again, it's not for everybody. I don't want to There are a lot of people who feel comfortable with this and they're lovely. And it's okay. I'm not judging them because we're different. And it's okay. But for such people like me, it's not okay. It will kill you. For founders, for people who are like making their businesses, for really ambitious top managers, it's not okay. Never give yourself an option to stay in comfort zone.
I think it's a good example also of an area where you don't build resilience. So if you stay inside of your comfort zone, stress is inevitable. And actually, stress is not a bad thing. Because too little stress means you're bored, right? You feel lethargic. So you need stress in your life. You need pressure in your life to be able to feel motivated. But unmanaged stress is an issue if it's too high. The thing is that I feel that outside of your comfort zone is where you build resilience. If you stay inside of your comfort zone for 20 years and something happens, you get made redundant or whatever it is, then how do you deal with that situation? How do you, I think your foundations just fall away underneath you. And I think that's the core issue, that you are unable to deal with the inevitable lemons that life is going to give us.
It's a kind of trap of our brain. Then the brain, the laziest part of ours, it's catching us in. Let's compare it with the running. Once you forgot running, you didn't run for 2 years, for example, and you're okay in physical form, so you're okay to run. And then you're starting running the first kilometer. The first feeling that will come. You will start having pain. You will lose your breath. This is the first step when the brain tells you, like, stop this, I'm tired, I need energy for something else. I didn't create what for, but I need it for sure. And if you start telling your brain that, no, it's my energy, I need it now, just give it to me, the pain will go up. And you will probably run around 2 kilometers more easily, no problem. Because you already like win this. And this is talking about not about running at the end of the day. It's about everything.
How is this, like, you've seen hundreds of decks, right? And so how do you see this same idea of running being true for first-time founders versus founders that have been around the block for a little bit? What are some of the key characteristics that you see as differences between founders that succeed or founders that you kind of see as a red flag and give you reason to pause?
The first difference between like serial founders and like new founders is, of course, confidence. Serial founders are much more confident in what they're doing. They already know what they're doing, probably done it several times. Whatever question you have, they already have an answer for this. And it's not so difficult. Let me give you an example just from yesterday night. The lady who is helping with the scouting, like an agent, and she has some network around. And she was reaching me about like, I have a good project, let's took a leak. I sent it into email. So like, see, I didn't say anything in CRM, probably they replied to something like this. And I told her, of course, I didn't see because there was no pitch deck and an analytic from website. And it's okay if it is SEO project, but it's a kind of products side with some product, which I still don't understand what they're doing, honestly. And it's like, this is the level of preparing, because serial founder will never do it like this. They will have unit economy, doesn't matter what the product. They will already have the projection at least for 2-3 years. They already have a pitch deck. They have a one-pager, or even the kind of preparing the memo, like a demo version of memo, so you can move forward. So you don't need to spend time a lot with them. Everything they can done, they already prepare for you, and they understand how to show themselves, because before they call, they are training it. If they're especially like 2-3 founders, they train it, who is speaking for what, who is answering which questions. And it's very feeling. And when you come into such calls, you're feeling trapped in the hands of a good team, because whatever you ask, they answer you very quickly, smoothly. The conversations go in the right way from the beginning. And this is the difference. So the only thing that you need to do is start thinking, like, put yourself on the place of investor. Yeah, that's all. It doesn't mean only investor, honestly. Whatever you're coming to some negotiations, just put yourself on the place there. It's always what I'm doing when I'm preparing, because they're all important negotiations. I'm preparing in my head. Like, okay, I will tell this, what the possibilities the person can tell me. Okay, this, what I'm answer this, and so you're playing this role play game with yourself. At the beginning, it's difficult when you're like a new buyer. You need to play with somebody, because it's much easier to play role play games. You need somebody to help you with this. But after some time, if you're skilled enough and you really can put yourself, like a chess game.
I'd imagine perfectionism is something that kills more startups than failure, right? Because people are stuck in their own heads. They overthink. They never make their first sale because the product's not polished enough, and so they don't test it in the market. Is that also something that you see? And if so, Vladimir, what would you advise to somebody that is maybe very introverted and continuously overthinks things, that is in that same situation?
I've seen it a lot. Even in our portfolio, I'm seeing the same situation in some product. We are working with it. Usually, if I'm seeing such situation, I'm jumping to the project weekly or even daily basis, working with them to overstamp this. What I will advise: why did you think that your product needed by somebody? Just ask yourself, because you've seen some problem. Did you ask anybody, do they have this problem? Usually, you're starting from your friends, and they're telling like, yes, it's so good, because they don't want to harm you. But ask them how much money they're going to pay for this. If they're telling you $100, okay, take this $100 for them. Huh? So I can bet that half of their friends that are telling that they are ready to pay $100 for them, they won't give it to you. And even if they have like thousands of money, they won't give it. But because again, they don't want to harm you, they want to support you. Because okay, everybody is showing that the world is showing that we need to be supportive. Even all the time, we need to be supportive. I don't trust on it. I'm happy with my friends, because if I'm doing some bad stuff, my friends are not afraid of telling me like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, forget about this. Just throw it, bro. It's not working. So all of these questions, this is the most important what you need when you need to start from. It doesn't matter what your product is, even if it is MVP with some rough stuff. If you can't sell it, you probably need to find a founder who will sell it. And that's all. Like, this is the first step. It's not about money at the beginning. It's just about understanding that your product is really demandful, and that somebody wants to pay for it, somebody wants to test it, somebody wants to spend time working with your product. And this is the most important. And also, you will receive feedback, what is correct, what is not correct. As a marketing and sales, you always fight with the technical guys, especially like CTOs. They say, product is the most important. Product is the most important. I tell you now, the problem is that as a sales, I can sell anything without the product yet. Then take money and then develop the product. In your case, if you have a product and you can't sell it, that's crack. So my advice here to every startup, doesn't matter, collect every contract you have, LOI, improvement, signs some money, sell it a bit cheaper, give it for trial, give advice, but not try to make the ideal product. There is no ideal product in this world. There's nothing ideal in this world. Let's look at the mirrors. We're not ideal. Nothing even close to ideals. The only matters when the market is telling you that they need it. Not you, not your mom, not your friend, and so on. Clients. Or people who are going to, probably somebody of them will be your clients, but if they're going to pay them. If they're going to pay for this product and they're paying you, that's a good signal.
I think one of the big things with overthinking is also that you overthink it and you spend weeks or months, on some sort of product or service. And in the end, you deliver it only to find that when people start paying, that it wasn't perfect. And then it was maybe 80% perfect, although you spend all that thinking on it. And then you've got to go back and actually fix it. Whereas if you did it really quickly and you did it to about 80% perfect, you actually have exactly the same result. The difference being you didn't spend weeks or months on it, I think this is such an important lesson that, again, comes from repetitions. But just to kind of underline what you're saying. Vladimir, last one, man. Like, one of the big things for you with your investments and pitch contests that you're doing is really to also leave a lasting impact, right? Like, if it would all stop tomorrow, what's the one thing that you want to be remembered for? Not as an investor, but as a person.
For the people who might help to grow in personal and business life. This is what I'm doing most part of my life, and this is what I'm proud of. And all these people around is a kind of inner circle, in a community of people who trust in me sometime to give their own faith and in some cases lives to give in, like, under my control in some way on this meeting. And I'm happy that I didn't broke it, and I just find a way to help them to grow. And they had the most important, they found these strengths in them to grow. Really, this is the only thing I want this world to be like to remember myself for.
Love it. Thank you very much, Vladimir. It was an amazing conversation, cuts past the surface, and thank you very much for joining us. And great chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you for joining me on the iGaming Leader podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, head over to igamingleader.com for more conversations and insights. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. I'm your host, Leo Judkins, and I hope to see you next week.